The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Here I am. I'm Nikki Glaser. I am here alone in my studio, apartment studio. I almost said studio apartment. That's a different thing. It's a different lifetime. I am here in my studio in my apartment in St. Louis alone. Chris is going to get our rental car. Usually I'm joined by someone here. It's
You're really
been a long time since I've been.
Yeah, what's it feel like to have nobody across from you?
Feels feels the same. I'm really fine with it. Chris is getting a rental car. We're driving to Arkansas today for two shows. Truly. Chris is helping me with my special, like he's producing it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing so much more work than I've ever done on a special in my life. And it's not even that much work. I'm failing miserably every day. Like the goals we're setting, it's not even that much. And it's just
like, what's a goal?
Be my, watching tape, like going through all my set, like going through my set and then picking, like reading the transcript that we get transcribed and then listening to it along with it and picking out what we like, what we don't like. It's complete hell. It's hell because I just am so disappointed in myself the whole time. And it seems so insurmountable, the amount of work I have to do to be what I want to be. And I get bogged down with, like, why are you so bad right now? And it's not enough time. And I just start kind of like, I just get in the worst moods imaginable when I have to do this. It's like, and he's so sweet. Like, he will get me anything. He, like, puts a Zevia next to me. He'll put on Taylor Swift, like, in the background softly. Like, he'll get the foot massager next to me. Like, he tries to make it as comfortable as possible for me to do this process. And he's, like, in a really good mood because he's trying to, like, bolster my bullshit mood. And it's really sweet. But then I start to feel like a burden and, like, such a problem because I see all the effort that's going into, like, keeping my little beach ball in the air, like it's just like, why can't, and then I start getting down about that. Like, why can't I just be a normal person that doesn't get like, I'm a little baby moody. It's just
because the goal is to have like a special that surpasses your previous specials. That makes you ascend to the next echelon of comedian.
No, I don't need to ascend anymore. I'm so tired. I like the amount of theaters I'm doing. I like the amount of people I'm performing for. I don't care. I like being someone who people are like, you should be more famous. I like that. I don't want to be more famous because then when you get there, you let everyone down.
Yeah.
I think,
and then everyone's like, you should be less famous. I think you're not. You're a little too famous.
Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah,
that's what
they
crush
you. If you can just hover in the cut, lay in the cut. That's what you want.
I just don't know how people have kids. I'm like packing today I have to pack for Arkansas this morning. So 2 shows in Arkansas, and then I go to New York on Wednesday to do a Bob Saget tribute thing that, God damn you, Bob, this is not the right time of year for me, but I love you, and so I'm doing it for you. But it's just, because I was supposed to do it last year, but I went through my vocal cord thing, so I couldn't do it. So I wouldn't be doing it this year because I'm just so swamped. But when you push things away and you go, I'll do it next time, then you have to do it the next time. And you don't know if your life is going to be more complicated then.
Right.
Which it is, but it'll be fun. It's just a short set on a show. I keep thinking he'll be there or something. I'm like, but he will be in spirit, so that'll be nice.
And on video.
And then Thursday, I'm, and on video probably there'll be a montage. And then Thursday, I'm still in New York City. Yeah, which is today. I am like so depressed about my face lately. I can't handle it. I cannot. I see pictures of myself every week, and my right side of my face is sliding off. If topologists or like geologists were studying my face, they would say there's a landslide coming soon on the right side, and it's all, do not build on that side. Stop putting things on the side. It's all, I wish I had I wish I had headphones that pulled me up like this. I wish I could do this this is what I want my face to look like.
Archaeologists were looking at your face for history, they'd be like, there was an ice age around the nose.
Yes. Something's happening structurally to the right side of my face, and it's undeniable. It's not just like lighting. It's like, and it just started happening like probably in the last 2 months. I think I may have said this on the podcast, but one time during F-Boy, my makeup artist Leia was doing my makeup, and she does like a winged eyeliner, like Taylor Swift style. And that's just like what I like to do with my eyeliner. And I was looking in the mirror and I was like, it's so uneven, Leia. Like, I thought she was drunk because it was so. I go, look at this. One is like shooting up at a, 90 degree, like a 20, I don't know what degree, what it's shooting right up. And the other one is like kind of, not. And I go, I was really like kind of disappointed in her. Like, how could you get this so wrong? It's supposed to be symmetrical. She was like, it's, I'm trying to actually make your face look symmetrical with it because one side is a lot. She was trying to be nice, but she was like, one side is, your eye is a lot lower than the other. And I was like, oh my God, you're fucking right, dude. She was like, I do your makeup like this every time. You've just never studied it this hard. And so she put it in my head. It's not like she put it in my head. It was already there. I was starting to see stuff. And it's just, I don't mind if both sides were to sag at the same time, but one side, it's really hurts my feelings every time I see a picture. And other people don't see it. Or they just don't, people that are taking my pictures or sending them to me do not know what's happening. So they'll send me these pictures and I get so sad. It's so out of my control. I can't do anything about it. I can sleep on the other side of my face, but like I shift in the middle of the night. So I'm now sleeping on my left side of my face to like make that one go down because there's no making the other side go up.
It's nearly impossible to stay in one position while you're sleeping.
No, I can't.
You just shift.
And so it's just...
Or you can get no sleep. You can force yourself to lay there like a mummy and then have a shitty night's sleep, and that will ruin everything.
Your face will definitely sag.
Then everything will sag.
I just look so much like Marjorie Taylor Greene every single day. My face is, yes, I already look like her. We have the same kind of eyes, and like if I just gain a little bit more weight, it's gonna be so undeniable. People are gonna be making the comparison. Well, guess what? I beat you to it. If you compare me to her, you're not original because I already said it, and you got it from me. Come up with something better. I'm just
no, you don't look
so
like
I'm
her.
going
you
on
look
Thursday.
Like, you look at least like Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I do kind of look like her too. Like I have those weird, deep set, beady, crazy eyes. But I'm going on Thursday. I'm going to this very expensive doctor in New York City to just see if there's anything she can do because I can't get surgery before my special. Just anything she can do to even out my face. Like I just don't know what to do anymore, and it's just like I'm just so upset about it, and I can't live like this. It's if I wasn't in the public eye, it would be fine. If I didn't have pictures of myself every single weekend and I didn't have to film a special where I have to be in the edit and watch it, if I could just have other people edit it, if I could just not look at pictures of myself and have an AI bot post them, I would be okay and I would be a happier person. But I have to review these things and look at myself and it's terrible. It's just so, and I'm tired of looking in mirrors. I'm tired of people doing my makeup and then holding a mirror right up to my face or like doing something to my face and then all of a sudden holding a mirror. The other day at the dentist, he just held me a mirror and was like, look it, is that? I'm like, don't make me look at myself. I hate this. And I know everyone at home saying, wow, she has such low self-esteem. You would too if you had to look in a mirror for so much of your life.
Yeah.
And then
you have to critique.
Today, yeah.
Sorry. You need to critique what you're doing. That's the part that makes it challenging. Like you have to like look at yourself and critique and accept or like, I don't like this, make changes here.
Yes.
So it's like you're scrutinizing your own self.
And you have to do my makeup every day, which is intense looking in the mirror. Well, Matt.
What about getting one of those Phantom of the Opera masks? That covers.
That honestly is the perfect
She would want that for sure.
thing for me to cover up the right side because the left side is still holding on. It's still got a little life in it.
It has hope.
The other
like
side,
a college student.
It is. And my right side is like a old professor that's been at the school for over 20, like has tenure, given up, just does the same syllabus every year.
Is like moments away from getting kicked out of his tenure for saying a racial slur.
Yes,
accidentally,
that's my right side
though.
of my face.
He's the beginning of a Jonathan
in the
Franzen
70s.
novel.
I was allowed to say this. But also, I've been posting ugly pictures of myself on Instagram because, like, whenever there is a series of photos that comes out and I'm making like a really bad face in some, I post those because that gives me control again over the narrative. Like, no one can say she thinks she's so hot, or because I don't like. And Anya and Matt were talking to me about like, you should post like hot pictures. Like, we take pictures of you every week where you look great, and I'm like, but I don't think I look great. And I don't want anyone to think I look great. It's so humiliating. to put those out there and have someone be like, Nikki thinks she's like looks so good. I'd rather just post a really ugly picture and be like, I'm going through a phase right now. I don't fit in any of my clothes. My face is falling off my head. I don't have time to get my hair done, so my roots are like black. It's just like
I'd like to see that as an experiment. If you just started, like, take a week and then every one of your posts should just be you shit talking yourself. I would like to see. I'm sure most of the reaction would be just like, "No, you're wrong."
No, but
you
can't do that.
After a week, what'll happen? If you just
I'd probably get uglier because of manifesting it.
You know, when Apple sends you a photo gallery and it's like when you were in the woods or beach time, or you're in those.
Here's you 10 pounds ago when you were a lot happier.
Exactly.
Here's a montage of when you were so hot. They always pick 3.5 years ago, enough time that you like can't get it back, but you were like right before COVID. I was fucking killing it.
It's like, remember when you were happy, and then it shows you 5 pictures.
Yeah, it's just one of those weeks, and I'm just underslept.
And on the beach.
Yeah. Yes. Why do they do that? And they always set it to a song that's like, it is like a song that would play at your funeral. It's like whatever's going to play for Bob Saget. Probably Apple made it 3 years before he died.
I wish.
And they were like, "We'll just use this."
Knew what I knew now when I was younger.
Yeah. I hope you had the time of your life. And I'm like smiling with no crow's feet.
It is like a little in memoriam every time.
It is. It's so rude. I really hate those.
It really
because you just
makes
see
me
yourself.
cry.
Yeah, I don't like looking at the past. I don't like, what a great time to be alive in like the 1800s. I mean, there was like plagues and stuff, and, you know, rape was probably legal, but I do think not being able to see your reflection anywhere or having images of you, like someone would just paint a painting and you could be like, he's just like a sloppy painter. I don't really look like that. And I bet they weren't as vain. I bet they didn't care. They didn't talk about their looks a lot.
Did you see Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Scorsese movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, but I am interested in Leo making out with a woman who's over 100 pounds. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they bang a lot.
They forced him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's young, though. She's pretty young. But in that movie, that movie is set in the 1920s, and Leonardo DiCaprio made an acting choice in that movie to purposely like shape his face so that he's ugly. Like he's like frowning forcefully the whole movie. And really? I think back then, even as early as then, just like people were ugh. And everyone was ugh, and the top hot one was dead.
Yeah, there was no moisturizer.
No, there was nothing.
It was like cow semen or something. Like they didn't there was just sun, there was no SPF, there was constant smoking, constant like being in cabins where there was smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
You look like
look
shit
at the screen.
by the age
This is how
of 5.
everybody looked, and every man looked in the 1920s and below.
But you know something? I bet people.
You
What's
look like
going on out there?
You really do.
Oh my God!
You do look like you were on the battlefield.
Yeah.
My God, Brian, you have such Civil War face right now.
Yeah, this is the 1920s.
Oh my God.
But I
bet
do.
People have no self-awareness though.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, we don't need that.
But they still had like sartorial choices that were pretty like specific. You know, they all dressed. They wore like those wigs. Yeah, but they wore top hats and stuff, and women had to wear like these big flowy skirts. You know, they had to like cover up a lot, and like you would think they would just wear whatever their version of athleisure was, whatever's the easiest thing, because life was so hard. But I think because life was hard back then, and they're constantly probably working, but I bet there was a lot of downtime too, because you got to like let water boil, and like you got to let plants grow.
Oh yeah, the amount
I'm
of
sure
time
there's always
you just
something
would
to
spend
do.
laying down on a porch was, but then it's
With
not.
your
But
thoughts.
there's also less downtime because you have to do so much work just to get by each day. Like if you have to go out and farm or sweep. Yeah, what's with people sweeping the porch and getting the dust off the porch? Like, you don't really need to do that.
Because it's going to get inside and it gets on everything.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
But they are always sweeping. Was Killers of the Flower Moon so good?
No. I'd say it was fine. It was fine. As a Scorsese, for example, I liked The Irishman better than Killers of the Flower Moon. There were parts, I mean, I don't want to get into trouble here, but like there were parts of Killers of the Flower Moon where I asked the question, why is Martin Scorsese telling this story? Why is not a Native American telling this story? It's as if Martin Scorsese like read a book or interviewed somebody. I don't know if he has a personal connection to it, but it's like this movie has real moments of cultural significance for the Osage people, and I just don't understand why Martin Scorsese is making this. And then at the end of the movie, Martin Scorsese makes a little cameo where he does like a speech. Yeah, there's some strange artistic choices.
Does he do that a lot?
No, he does not. So it was just some strange artistic choices that made this movie a little bit more artsy than I'm used to in a Scorsese movie. And then also I just felt like that he's trying to make a statement about how difficult it was for the Osage people of Oklahoma in the 1920s and how the white devil came and stole their land and stole their oil money and stole their women. And they all died off from alcoholism and suicide. And then he like makes this like heartfelt speech at the end. It's really profound. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Shouldn't there be an Osage person making this speech?
They can't get funding for a movie like that.
Well, so then Martin Scorsese should, okay, I'm the director, but then it just is strange. It's just, it made it seem insincere to me. Like, I don't believe him that he really is empathizing this much with the Osage people. I believe that.
Really? He made a whole movie about him.
I think he thinks the story's good and it's very mafiosa-esque, but still. Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, they're the white devils. They're truly the main characters, except for the woman who is the Osage person, who is excellent. I think she was the best part of the movie. But like, I don't know, that once they got to this cameo at the end,
where'd they find her?
That's a good question. I would like to make a joke, but I don't want to offend anybody. I think yes, Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean, I love when they have like one person. I hope she has an illustrious career ahead of her.
Yeah,
but there's always these movies where there's like a huge star-studded cast, and then there's one person that looks kind of normal.
Yeah,
that like has to fill a role that is just like the I don't know, the guy on death row or the old janitor who finds the crystal. I don't know. It's just there has to be some kind of character that they put a normal person. They kind of like they go, look at, we claw machined this person out of their horrible life, and now we made them a movie star for one movie.
Yeah,
and then they maybe do like a Super Bowl ad or something, and then they kind of disappear.
So she's been in a bunch of stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah, her name is Lily Gladstone, and she has been in.
That sounds familiar, actually.
Reservation Dogs for 2 episodes, which is also about Native Americans. But then she was also in Billions for 6 episodes.
Oh,
yeah!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a couple other things. She's got a great voice.
Do you know what I mean? She has like a great speaking voice.
Yeah, like she could do voiceover for sure.
Oh my God. I recently heard there's this like woman who have jealousy issues over. Not jealousy, envy, sorry, wrong one. That I just like kind of want her life, and she just like has the body that I want and has like just like the Instagram I want and like the hair and like the clothing and just like the happiness and like just has it all together and is like killing it. And then I heard her talk and I was like, thank you, God. You granted her one horrible thing. Her voice is like kind of like this. Like, it's so bad that like you can't deny that it's a bad voice. And it really delighted me that she just had a really like, because I was dying for a video of this woman, because I know people can look amazing in images pretty easily. You can just edit that stuff and just pick the best one out of 1,000. But video kind of shows the truth. Mm-hmm. And boy, did it ever. She's still a pretty person talking, but her voice was rough, man.
Oh, yeah. It's like
voices are everything.
Porn, and you see a really hot person, and then they have this like deep, thick Eastern European accent, and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh
my God, what is happening to me? You know, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's an overdub.
Oh, keep it harder. Sounds like Arnold.
I don't like when the women talk at all. That's why I've oftentimes searched ball gag porn, because I'm just like, I don't want to hear anything you say. You need to be quiet. I want to hear you like struggle not to make noise, and I want to hear the guy talk more. And so that voice actually turns me on, the one that you just made. If it's coming, it's because it sounded like a man's.
What do you want the guy to say?
Just take it, bitch. Not bitch, but take it. Like, do it. Like, just like, I want the guy to be like, good, all right, yeah.
You want him to be like,
and then I like other guys directing the guy. Yeah, yes. I want other guys to be directing that guy to tell him what to do, and to like, oh, I like when they tell her, arch your back, arch your back. I like when they like yell commands at her.
You should watch Pop Sugar videos. Just watch.
What is that?
It's like exercise videos on YouTube. It's the same thing. Arch your back.
I kind of maybe it is.
Stiffen up.
Yeah.
Arch your back. Put your arm.
I just
over
like them
here.
to be challenged. I want everything to be a challenge. I
Yeah.
want anything that I like watching. It's something
Just
impressive.
watch it. I'm challenging you. So okay. So how come you can't apply this to your special reviews? Because you hate that challenge, but you love
because
watching someone.
I get bogged down by how bad I am. I can't
It's
get
the
it out of my head.
perfection.
That's it, Brian. I think you figured it out.
No, I
Instead of
didn't.
Chris being so sweet to you and putting on Taylor Swift
Oh,
low in the
yeah.
background and getting you your
He's
favorite
going the
little
wrong
snack,
way.
he needs to
Arch your
shout
back.
commands at you.
Arch your back.
I'm going to
So-
text him.
Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to like make it because he tries to make it so enjoyable.
Yeah,
and
no.
I'm like,
try it.
I don't want things to be enjoyable. I want things to be torturous so that when I complete them, I feel like good job. And like, it doesn't help me to have things that are really hard be set in like a beautiful setting or something.
Get
I
on your
need it to
hand and
be
knees
like,
and put on this pig mask. That's what the next
honestly,
review.
I think
You're
that's
a
a better
pig.
idea for me.
You've done
I'll
it.
tell him that, Noah. I'll break that news to him, okay? Because that's a really good idea. All right, we got to go to break. We'll be back with more after this. We're really figuring things out over here. Okay.
Really sounded like you believe that. Well,
No, I mean, I
one
think
knows
there
what
is
we're
something to
talking
that.
about. No one knows what we're talking about because I keep forgetting that during the break, people listen to like 2 minutes of commercials, unless you're a Diamond Player Club Network special guy or girl.
Wait, we're back.
Oh, we are.
Yes, I'm keeping all that in.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I do consider that people listen to the commercials and then they are kind of like not
It's-
exactly where we were.
No, they're not. And like
Unless you're
frequently-
diamond players.
Unless you're Diamond Players, then you're in. We gotta look out for them because they're just going from one to the other. It must be very jarring.
This is a thing about me. I have to say, there's a lot of things I get down on myself about. I am 100% more aware of other people's experiences than most people are. I think that I am someone who is extremely aware of how other people interpret things. And I get it wrong a lot of times, but I'm always constantly trying to understand another person's perspective. So I don't think there is a single example of me on this whole podcast where I have come back from a commercial and not reset.
Yeah.
And like, because I know I would never assume like everyone else is just living my experience right now. I really do think from other people's perspective quite often.
Yes.
And I think that's a quality I wish more people had. It's one thing about myself that I actually like because people all the time, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people talk about their shitty, stupid, mundane lives like you know all the players and characters in it. They'll be like,
yeah.
well, and then Dave told me at work,
Oh,
and then
I
Dave at work was like, lost his sweatshirt again. I'm like, I don't know who Dave is. Like the other day, it was like
You don't know who Dave is?
Well,
then they will say something like that?
I always say this. I go, why would I know who Dave is? Can we just go back? Why would me? You know who I am. How do you think I would know who Dave is? And then they kind of are like at a loss for words, and they go, I don't know. But I realize that I'm not being very empathetic and thinking about some people are stupid and they don't consider
put
other people's
yourself in their
experience.
shoes. They're so
So
dumb.
I do need to make that extra leap. But like, there's like examples. Whenever I check into a hotel, they'll be like, and he goes, and you're gonna, what did he say? There was a guy the other day that goes, so and the elevators are gonna be that way and across the rotunda, and then you're gonna go through. And I go, what is that? What is all of that? I
Yeah.
don't know what any of those words were. He described how to get to it, and I was like, but it didn't even make sense. It wasn't
Go
like I
past
wasn't
that
trying to be
place
difficult.
where I found that
there's-
pen. It's like I don't know
Yes.
where you found that pen.
Yes, it was like that. There was something I remember. Anya kind of looked at me because it seemed to be rude what I was saying, but I was just calling him on the fact that I don't speak your hotel language. I don't know what any of that stuff is, and because people know me listening to this, I would never want to be escorted to my room by a front desk clerk. I don't want to waste people's time.
Yeah.
I don't want, if I can find the elevator myself, I will 100% go. I'm not one of these people that likes to hang out at the front desk and ask a million questions and feel like really important. So the breakfast tomorrow, does that start at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.? I know any information. I will just look at it when I get to my room in the book on the desk. But this guy was describing how to get to the elevators, and I go, none of that would make any sense to anyone who is patronizing your hotel for the first time.
Yeah.
I go, I haven't been here before. I literally said to him, I go, why would I know what that means?
Yeah.
Because he was like a young kid.
Right.
And I go,
He's trying to
and he
teach him.
was, and then
Just
Anya
take
kind
two
of looked
lefts
at me
past
like,
the Adirondack room. And it's like, what the fuck is the
that
Adirondack room?
is exactly it. That's exactly it, Brian. I go, why would I know what the Adirondack room is? And so then it was either Chris or Anya kind of looked at me like, easy, Nikki, like this is just a kid. But then I was trying to have a little fun with it because I was trying to say it in a cute way of like, come on, man, like let's like talk about this for a second. Why would I know what that is? And then he goes, and then I was just being a little bit more playful just because either Anya or Chris was kind of like, I could tell they were like kind of upset with how I was acting, and not upset, but just kind of like trying to be super nice to the guy to make up for me. But I'm like, no, I got this under control. I'm not going to be mean to this kid. Believe me, I'm going to leave this interaction fine. I just need him to know not to do this again with customers because no one knows what the Adirondack room is. So then I was kind of playing with him a little bit and just being like, come on, man, you know? And then I go, or I made some other joke about something. He's like, do you want, one key or two keys? And I'm like, make it 3. Like, I was just like playing, just trying to get on his good graces again. So Anya or Chris wouldn't be upset with me. And then he goes, you know what? I gotta say, I had a feeling I would meet you today. He was like, you're Nikki Glaser, right? And I was like, yeah, I literally just gave you my name. I said Nicole, but I think yes, you figured it out. And I go, oh, really? And he was like, I just had a feeling. I go, is it the poster behind you that says Nikki Glaser show tonight at 7 p.m.? It was like at a casino I was performing at. He was like, no, I just, and I go, I'm sure you don't meet everyone that performs here. So yes, I guess this is very special. But then he walked us down and he quickly confessed that he was off drugs and he was doing good for himself. His name is Austin. Shout out to Austin, that guy that worked at the front desk. But there was another time this weekend that I called someone out because I just couldn't help it. There was someone that was like, and I felt bad about it afterwards, but I don't, because people don't need to be, okay.
I love that you're going through your calling out era.
I am kind of.
Look at this asshole.
I just want people to be more aware. I had a friend who I was introducing to another friend, and my one friend was a fairly well-known person, and the friend I was introducing that friend to is not well-known at all. Which is fine. There's no judgment there. I'm just saying what it is. So the friend that's not well-known said to the friend, so the well-known said to the unwell-known, nice to meet you. And what did the well-known say? Let's all take the not well-known say, let's take a guess.
You never met me before?
We've met before.
Oh, we've met before. The opposite of what I said.
We've met before.
Yeah.
And I'm monitoring this because I don't like we've met befores. I don't like when anyone tosses that out. But if they hung out all weekend or something, I've done nice to meet you to someone who I was on TV shows with, did panels with, and they were like, Nikki, we worked a whole day together, and I completely forgot. So I understand it. Sometimes it is we slept together or whatever. It's constituted that you should call it out. But so I was monitoring this. Does this person have a right to call my friend out for not remembering them?
Mm-hmm.
We've met before. And then he goes, where? They say, at Montreal Just for Laughs. Already, I'm like, the context of that is not fair.
Oh, yeah.
When you're at Just for Laughs, it is a festival of hundreds and hundreds of people that you're meeting.
Yeah.
And then to further it, if you're listening to this and you're don't be mad that I'm calling you out because this was really adorable. But then furthermore, they go, I met you already. And he's like, "Oh, really? I'm so sorry. Where? Montreal." And then I'm already like, "Come on!" I didn't say that, but my face is getting ready to make that thing.
Yeah.
And then they go in an elevator.
Oh,
I go,
God.
what? The place where everyone's facing forward, and there's literally a thing called an elevator pitch because it's
2 minutes.
It's less than 2 minutes. It's 7 seconds to make an impression on someone because you're in a box in which there is no impressions to be made at all. I was like, Come on. You can't expect him to remember you at Montreal in an elevator where you are constantly getting on. It's like, imagine for the listener, Montreal is like a conference of hundreds of comedians, hundreds of agents, hundreds of producers, hundreds of comedy bookers, all in one hotel together for a whole weekend sharing elevators.
Yes.
The fact that anyone remembers anyone, even famous people is, I've met people at Montreal that I'm more famous than, but I like know them from something, and I would never expect them to remember meeting me because it's just not.
I mean,
it's
I went
just
to
not a place where
Montreal
you,
in 2014, and I can say that not a single person remembers me from that.
And I just felt, Well, when I went in 2007, believe me, no one remembered me either. It was fucking rough. I think we talked about it before. It was a bad time for both of us. But I called this person out. And then I felt bad because I didn't want to make them feel bad about it. But I go, don't expect anyone to remember you from an elevator in Montreal.
No.
And I wasn't saying that because she isn't someone that is to be remembered. It's absolutely the opposite. But in that context, I've met Larry David twice and didn't remember meeting him the first time. People don't have massive memories for meeting people. And sometimes you just, it's not important enough. There's not.
Sometimes you just go, nice to meet you, but obligatory. And you're like, oh, wait,
but this is what leads people saying to saying, nice to see you, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, you don't like that?
I hate
but
nice to see you.
It's safe.
I always say that.
No, nice to see you is stop it. Everyone stop nice to see you. It is indicative of the fact that you do not need to feel bad that you don't remember meeting this person. If they were memorable enough and if you didn't have a drinking problem, you would remember them. But you do and they're not. So just stick it. Say nice. If you don't know if you've met them before, say nice to meet you. If they do the I've met you before, say sorry. Don't feel bad that you don't remember them. No one should feel bad. You can't help what you don't remember. My dad is constantly making my mom feel bad about stuff. You don't remember that, Julie? And I go, if she did, she would. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
She's not choosing to not remember something. So
just wait
let's
until
do
they
away
get
with
10 years
nice
older.
to see you.
Once they get
nice
10
to see
years
you. When
older
people
from
say
now?
that to me, I know for a fact they don't give a fuck that they've ever met me. They definitely don't remember meeting me. They think I'm unmemorable.
They don't even give a fuck now.
If you say nice to see you to me, I not only think that I think for sure you've met me before.
Yeah.
And even if we haven't met, you think I'm not memorable enough right now that you possibly have met me before and didn't remember me. So it is an insult actually when people say nice to see you to me. I really hate
You'd rather
it.
them say fuck you.
Yes,
I
nice
fucking
to fuck
hate you.
Yes. Nice to meet you. If you don't remember if you've met them, say nice to meet you. It is not a crime to not remember someone. We are very busy people that meet a lot of people. Stop apologizing before you insult someone. And stop apologizing when you do insult someone. You can apologize and say, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. But don't think you're a bad person because you don't remember someone. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
Not everyone is memorable. And if you're not a memorable person, that's okay too. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that you don't even know what was going on in that person's day, how many people they met, if they were hungover, if they were drunk. You don't know, so don't take it personally. People need to stop going like, this whole thing of if you tell your friend I can't make it to something, oh no, making them feel bad about it. That wasn't me saying Noah. Oh Noah, just let them off the hook. People already feel bad enough that it is just being humans and having to be around mirrors. Let them off the hook for disappointing you. When they already feel bad, don't double down and make them feel worse.
Oh yeah, I hate that about movies. You haven't seen Back to the Future? What?
No.
I don't like that. It's like, no, I haven't. I'm not a monster. I still had a childhood. Jesus Christ.
Well, I have said that to people before, but it's just because I won't say it like, what's wrong with you? I'll just be like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you to see it. Wow, like, please see it. Sometimes I'll be like, you have to see it. Please see it. But I do understand when people haven't been exposed to certain things. But there was something recently. God, what was it? There was someone on Girls Chat that didn't know about. Oh, one girl on our Girls Chat had never heard of Nepo babies.
Oh.
Well,
And that to me is kind of inexcusable.
I thought you were going to say
Where
something
were you?
like Bill Clinton or something. Like,
No,
never
no,
heard
no.
of Bill Clinton.
No offense, but if you have never read or heard about the term Nepo babies,
Yeah.
you're not you're not engaging in cultural life the way that you should be. And that is just my judgment. I'm passing judgment on you. And you could say, Nikki, my life is really hard. I don't look at the same things you look at. I don't care about show business. But if you miss that, you're kind of you're horse blindering yourself.
You're a horse.
Yeah.
I want to say though, this happened to me this past week. So I want you to evaluate this scenario.
I'd love to. I'd love to pass judgment on something that I have no right to do.
Yeah. So I went to this. I went to this meeting, and there was this guy there who I had met the day before.
Okay, that's rough.
I talked to him I talked to him for like 25 minutes, and I think he even watched me do stand up.
You're allowed. Then you are allowed to be like, we met yesterday.
Yes,
absolutely.
that's what I said.
You're allowed
I said,
to give
"We
this guy
met
shit.
yesterday."
100%. Yeah.
I said, "Oh, we met yesterday at that thing," and he's like, "Oh,
Okay, you're allowed to be offended by that, Brian.
all right, yeah."
What the fuck was his excuse? He's drunk. I'm guessing drunk.
He didn't have an excuse. No, he was definitely not drunk. I know that for a fact. He just he said he might as well have said, "Oh, I didn't give a shit." If he said that, I would have been like, "Yeah, that's the truth." And then I asked him to get me a room temp water, and he had to. So
what?
He had to get me a room temp water.
Why was he working? Like,
yeah, he was working. He was like an assistant or something. Not an assistant, but. And I was like, how could you not remember me? I talked to you for 30 minutes yesterday, and you saw me do stand up. It's just like,
I gotta say that sometimes I'm like that. Like, I won't remember people that I've spent. I'm starting to really worry about my memory because I will spend and faces and facial recognition and it's. I just have to say though that people can't help that they don't remember. It doesn't mean you can't give them shit, especially if it's something that.
But it was insulting
obvious.
Because I remembered them and I did not watch them perform, and they were just like somebody.
But you
some guy.
are smarter than them. You have a better brain than them for remembering. Not everyone is you. If he had your brain, he'd remember you too. You have a good brain for that kind of stuff, and he definitely doesn't. And that's probably why he's getting you water.
Yeah. Room temp.
Because sometimes, and this is going to sound really insulting, but I do not mean it in an insulting way. Please know that when I say someone is less intelligent or if someone's less intelligent, I don't think they're a bad person. And I don't think they deserve less in this world. It's not a moral judgment because animals are less intelligent than us. And I still think they deserve all the rights that we have. So in saying that another human being is not as intelligent as me might sound like I'm being judgmental. And there is a level of that, but I'm taking it. There sometimes is a part of me that's like, what an idiot, and I do pass judgment. This is not that. Sometimes, and I think I probably shared this before, you are being waited on or being having service from someone, let's say an Uber driver. And I'm sorry if I mentioned this before, but I think it's a good point. You will get upset that the Uber driver is driving and they will start looking for the drop-off location about 0.1 miles from a block or two away, even though the dot on their screen, and they've been driving Uber for a while, the dot on their screen is clearly, their car is here on the map, the dot is up here. The dot is clearly where you drop off. And yet they'll start stopping and braking a block before the dot. And this is not Noah's distance blindness that you have. Because Noah and Carlisle both they don't know what mileage is. So you'll say it's 0.2 miles away. They will have no concept what that means.
Well, I would think that's right away.
0.2? So it's 20% of a mile. Do you think 20% of a mile is right away?
I would think it's really close.
And a mile, it takes 1 minute. It takes, if you're driving 60 miles an hour, it'll take you 1 minute to do a mile. So if it's 0.2 of a mile, if you're driving 60 miles an hour, it'll take you 20 seconds.
Can I do an easier way? A mile is 4 laps around a track. So that one lap around a track is 0.25 miles, 25% of a mile.
Okay.
So if 0.2 miles, it's almost 1 lap around a track.
That gets me the distance in my head, but not the time it takes.
Well, I'm talking about the distance is what you need because whether you're in a car or on foot, a distance is going to be what you need.
I just know that my GPS, when it turns into feet after the mile, then I better get ready to brake fast.
This is crazy.
Wait, I'm not kidding you. Her and Carla are both. They don't understand.
Wait, what?
800
2
miles. Yeah, But 800 feet, you
don't know
know
what
that
that
800
is.
feet, you know how tall people are.
Right.
So it'd be
Well,
it'd be
Noah, how
100.
How tall is
It'd be
people, Noah?
120. 6
I'll tell
foot.
you how I do that. So I
Okay,
have
yeah. Let me know.
My,
'Cause this is
my
funny.
tallest friend, his name is Rob, and he's 6'3".
Okay.
So that's like around 6
you
feet.
should get some taller friends. That's not that tall.
That's a pretty. That's pretty tall.
6'3"?
tall.
You should have at least 6'5". You gotta have
So
one
let's just say
6'5".
he's 6 feet, right?
Yeah, so I
So it'd be
measure things in
100 Robs.
Yeah.
100
Yes.
plus Robs for 800 feet. It'd be like
Yes.
120 Robs.
Yes.
How is this easier for you that you're thinking about Rob's laying down?
Because I know his measurement. Like I've seen him in real life, so I know.
But your
like-
brain is going to be able to calculate 120 of your friend laying down on the road? That's
yeah, I
not
just
easier.
try
There's
to
no way.
imagine it, and then I drive.
Okay, can I just do the quiz you a little bit more? Okay. Noah, I think you get it now. I just explained the point too. We have about 0.2 miles to walk. When should we
Okay.
leave to get there? How many minutes should we give ourselves to walk there?
Oh no! Now you're adding time.
Yeah,
That's
I am.
why the
I'm adding
time
time. We're doing a leisurely stroll where like we're walking a dog. So like we're just like and we need to be there.
Okay.
It's 4:00 and we need to be there at 4:00. What time should we leave to get there right on the dot?
I think I would say 20 minutes.
Ooh, that is. It takes about 20, depending how fast you walk.
If
it
your
takes
dog
about,
is like incontinent
yeah,
and like really
Almost.
struggling to shit, and we want to stop for a Starbucks that's
Yeah.
another 2.2 miles away.
Wait, so what's the answer? How fast?
If it's
Like,
0.2
when-
miles away, I could get there in 4 minutes.
yeah, 4 or
Like
5 minutes.
very
If you're
easily.
walking fast.
I would probably I could do 2.5 minutes if I was walking fast.
You can walk a mile, and depending on who you are, between 20 and 30 minutes, somewhere around there. Usually, it's for younger people. It's
a
closer to
mile.
20.
I could walk a mile in 16 minutes.
And that's if
I-
you're
I
is a
speed
brisk
walking.
walker.
No, not speed. Like just my regular gait. I think 16. And if I'm running, 9 minutes.
Okay,
I guess
So
you're
then
right. No,
You're-
it would
you're
be
in the
18
range.
minutes then.
You're in the range. So it says you're a normal person according to Adidas. It's
No, don't even do normal
According
people because whenever they
to
try
Adidas.
to tell me how long it's going to take to walk somewhere, I
Yeah.
can always take out a fourth of it.
Yeah, well, no, that's because we walk fast. We lived
Okay.
in New York, where we got long legs. We're brisk. We like to do things fast. If someone did, how
Yeah.
long does it take you to unpack a suitcase? You'd also be like half the time for Nikki Glaser, but you're
To
just
pack
fast.
one, it would be 1/8 of the time. No, it would be honestly 1/30th of the time it takes most people to pack a suitcase. If it was unpacking, it would be 30 times the amount of
Yes.
time because I never do it.
Okay, so how long?
Okay.
According to Adidas, they did a scientific study in 2019. There's a
Mhm.
range of 7 minutes. What do you think the range is for how long it takes someone to walk 1 mile?
Wait, a range of 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say to walk 1 mile, I would say 18 to and then 7 minutes more. 18 to 25 minutes.
That's very close. What about you, Noah? How long does it take to walk a mile according to a scientific study?
19 to 26.
Wow, you switched it?
Yeah, no, I'm going to 19 to 26.
Okay. Noah, do you have a guess?
Well,
600
I
days.
guess the way that I would think about this was when I used
Robs. Think about it in Robs.
How many Robs will it take?
to. Well, I can't think of him in time, but I do remember when I was on the treadmill, it used to take me like 12 minutes to like complete a mile jogging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I guess if I'm walking, I would double that, and I would say like 24 minutes.
So would you go 24 to
So
31
she would
minutes?
split 24 probably, and that would be the median of that number.
Okay, so like 23 to 30 minutes.
yeah.
22
to
to
complete
29.
a mile.
Okay, the correct
Yes.
answer is 15 to 22 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. I really do
Yeah.
think I could get it done in like 16 minutes. I think that's my mile.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, do we have to go to break? Okay.
Yes.
We have to go to break and then we're gonna talk about I killed someone with kindness, you guys.
Oh.
On my DMs.
No more
I got a
now.
nasty DM and I did it. I really did it. You won't believe the results. Okay, we'll be right back after this. Okay, we're back. So on I hope you guys got a good walk in between during the commercial break.
Yeah, like how
Okay.
much of a distance did you do? Tell us.
You could probably
Well, it
walk
was
about
probably a 4-minute
0.3 miles
during that commercial break.
Yeah.
I think so too. Okay. Yeah.
Confused.
So because it was probably 4 minutes long, so you could probably walk 0.3 miles. Okay. So yesterday's episode, I was sharing that I really loved this meme where someone was talking, someone got a really nasty DM from someone, and then they just killed them with kindness by like commenting on their profile. So most of the time I get DMs that are like mean and it's from someone and I can't see their profile. But last night,
Oh shit!
like manna from heaven, it dropped into my lap. This person who tagged another person. So they wrote me as a group.
Oh, I hate that.
And someone
Why did they
said-
do that?
Team Canadian French. I don't know if the girl on Selling Sunset that I made fun of on the episodes, because this is what I'm getting a lot of hate for, is like I made fun of a girl on Selling Sunset who I don't know. She's just whoever's dating when Jason Oppenheim. And so and Chriselle used to date Jason. So Chriselle and I are hanging out on the show. I don't know anyone on the show, by the way. Like I met Chriselle for the first time, like at the office.
Romaine Bonnet.
I'm guessing, yeah, she's Canadian French. That sounds like it.
Romaine
She's
Bonnet.
dating. Okay. So I made fun of her because
Oh,
she's
wait, no,
young.
that's a
I wasn't
man.
even making fun of her. Oh.
I just
Close.
looked
Oh no,
up.
that's Mary's. I think that's Mary's husband.
Okay.
But anyway, so they wrote Team Canadian French. I'm guessing she's Canadian French. And then again they wrote you're a cunt. And just
Oh God.
but it's fun. How do you think they spelled you're a cunt?
Oh, K with a K?
No.
Okay. C.
It's the best way.
Oh, YOUR.
Bingo!
Oh,
They
you're.
fu-
I thought
they-
you were talking about cunt.
No, sorry.
Oh.
You're a cunt. And so
Okay.
so then I was like, I'm just going to check their profiles to see if they're not private. They weren't. One of them wasn't private. And I'm like, okay, I'm going in. So I found they have a really cute son that they had all these Halloween pictures of him dressed up. And it's just crazy to me that someone would write you're a cunt and have a son. It's just to a stranger. It's just, this person should be sterilized. But that's how I truly feel. So I wrote, hi, your son is adorable. Love his Halloween costume. That's what I wrote back to you're a cunt, okay? She wrote, ha 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 ha. Love your stand-up and hosting and F-Boy Island.
My God.
It worked.
It worked!
Because you just what was so great about that is that you just gave her the out that you're joking. So you went ha ha ha, you're so funny. Is that what you said?
No, they said that. I said, hi, your son is adorable. Love his Halloween costume.
Oh, because so you didn't even comment on the fact that they called you a cunt. You
No,
didn't go like, ha, ha, ha.
Totally skipped.
Or something.
Nope. Maybe I should do that next time. But this
I
worked.
can't believe it's like the next text.
How
The
does
next
that's
friendly.
crazy.
They wrote, ha 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 ha. Love your stand-up and hosting and F-Boy Island. And I wrote, thank you. And now we're good.
Yeah.
Wow, it worked.
This is a real. This
What
is magic.
What is that?
This is how you turn. This is a magic spell where you turn trolls into regular people.
It's really fun. I mean, honestly, I think like everyone just needs to be approached with more kindness
Yeah.
instead of calling them the pilot
all
and the
those
asshole.
all
this
those
is like such a
signs at
change from
Bed Bath
yesterday.
and Beyond were right. That's what they were right the whole time. I think I found her name, Marie Lou Nurk.
Okay.
She's like,
Yeah.
she's 25. She's
Yeah.
a white lady
By the
with
way,
like kind of
I
blonde
didn't
hair.
say anything mean about her. I just said I was just making jokes about how she's young.
Yeah.
You know, like I was doing like old soul jokes. Like it's just funny to me that I can upset people so much from making jokes about someone being young.
Yeah.
Like there's so much awfulness in the world and so many horrible people. Yet people are so upset about me. No one's called me an ugly cunt yet. Like you can call me a cunt all you want, but no one said anything really that hurts my feelings yet. And that's great because I truly look like a goblin next to everyone on Selling Sunset because they are all,
I
they're
saw-
all so perfect looking. And I look like just me. I look fine. Like I look pretty, but next to that, the pieces of work they are, and I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that with respect, like they're just like they're art pieces.
Yes.
They literally have been worked on by doctors who are like at the top of their game. In fact, Chriselle is someone I now text for all of my beauty needs. Whenever I go to LA, I'm like, who's your tanning person? And I'm also going to go to her plastic surgeon when I'm ready to snip it up
Yeah.
because he does great stuff. I mean, she's one of the prettiest people I've ever been around in my life.
Who is she? Christelle?
Chriselle Strauss. She's like the lead girl on
yes.
Selling Sunset.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
I actually saw the guy from Selling Sunset, Jason Oppenheim, at a restaurant.
Maybe it was his brother. How do you know it was Jason?
I don't know. He was short. Are they both short?
Yeah, they're twins.
Well, I have
Robs
no
was
idea
he?
who it was. I don't know if Marie Lou Nurk
He was
was there.
0.4 Robs.
It would take you about 15 seconds to walk
Where
up
did
him.
you Where did you see him?
Craig's?
Oh, what were you doing at Craig's?
It was just a dinner after a show at the Improv.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always feel intimidated going to celebrity hotspots like that. I would feel like, what am I'm not allowed to go here. I go there with David Spade, or when like I have friends that are celebrities that invite me to go, and that's pretty much my only celebrity
I had
friend
no
that invites
idea.
me to go.
I didn't know it was a celebrity hotspot, and I didn't know who any of the celebrities were. And people were like, "Oh, that's the person from Selling Sunset." And I was like, "Oh, if you weren't here, I would not have known that I just saw the person from Selling Sunset."
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the place where like Harry and Meghan go.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they
It's a big
had
deal.
armed security guards in there, and this is a trend across
Yes.
LA now because somebody came in. People came in with guns and robbed a bunch of NBA players that were there like 2 weeks ago or something. And so
What?
now they have like,
At Craig's?
yeah, and so now they have like artillery, like real security guards that are like infantry, like military. I can't think of the
I've
word.
seen this.
They're, like,
They had it
hired-
at Starbucks in Memphis. Was the first time I ever saw like with like machine guns.
Yes, they're like, what are they called when you hire?
What are those big? Yeah.
What are those guys called when you hire like a? I can't think of the word. It's bothering
SWAT?
me. Get besties. There's a word for like. It's like what like a Russia will hire a group of militia and they're blanks. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Vigilantes?
Anyway, it
or
does-
like what?
Mm-mm. But they're cops though. They're not.
Yeah, yes.
Or are they?
They're not.
Well, they're They're private security,
Yeah, there's-
bodyguards, maybe.
But they're not allowed to be armed. Private security is not allowed to be armed with like.
No, they have
Machine
bulletproof
guns.
vests on and guns, and they're just guarding Craig's. And
No,
Craig's
they
has
have like
hired them.
one that has like
Grenades.
a rifle. It has a rifle.
yeah, rifle. They
Yes.
they were in the hotel this weekend when I
Yes.
was in where was I? The Baltimore.
It's so
at our-
sad.
At the Hyatt, we walked in. There's two huge armed security guards at 11 o'clock at night at the Hyatt at a
Yes.
really nice hotel, and I'm just like,
Yes.
what is going on?
Because
Is
everyone's
this
getting
because of
robbed.
looting?
Everyone's getting
Just
robbed, but
why?
also I went to
No, I
a
should've.
Ralph's. It's just a supermarket, and there
I
was
feel
a guy like
safer
that.
with it, to be
I
honest
feel
with you.
safer.
I feel great. I know that it's not like a good look,
It's
but
so
I feel so
sad.
much better.
That we
Yeah.
can't go to a fucking every grocery store, every place that anybody goes needs to hire a vigilante, machine gun bound army man.
It's not it's private security.
A private
politicians have
vigilante
private
who's out
security
there
all
on
the
his
time.
own trying to get vengeance on the criminals.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
and this is the
supermarket
same
needs
thing.
Batman standing by the front door just so that someone doesn't shoot up the place.
And how annoying is it? Like, I think stores obviously lose a lot of money from having to deal with people shoplifting and
Yeah.
there being no consequences for it. Obviously, that is becoming a huge issue. But if something is locked up, I will not wait for someone to come unlock it.
Oh,
I will
like
just
at a
not get the
CVS?
product. Yeah,
like
I just don't get it.
toothpaste, Advil.
They wait. They lose so much money from just me not having the patience. Do you
Yes.
guys agree? Like, if
Oh.
something's locked up, you'll just get a cheaper version that isn't locked up.
Let's get it on Amazon then. If I have to
Yeah.
sit there and press that button and then listen to the loudspeaker go, "Help wanted in aisle 7," and then
Because
just
it's
stand
gonna
there,
take
you know they're
at
not
least
coming.
0.3 miles for them to walk over and help you. It takes for Noah to walk 0.3 miles.
Nobody
it's gonna
works
take
there
about 10
anyway.
minutes for no one's working. If you have stuff locked up, you should have a person per aisle that helps you, but they can't afford that.
Oh my god!
And here was my point about if they can't tell you, like if someone at CVS is incompetent, or if someone at like, I understand that people need to get jobs to come up in life, and like, I you know what I made this point about is Dry Bar when I went there and they burnt my hair and I walked out with like a flat, sad mess. I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, they work at Dry Bar. Like,
Yeah.
why am I expecting excellence from the McDonald's of a hair salon? and I should, because I paid $80 for that blowout, but that's because their prices are inflated. That's not because it's actually a good service. Final thought. So when I'm in an Uber and I'm like, why is this guy, the dot is there, why are you slowing down and trying to drop me off, 800 feet from the dot because he's an Uber driver. And it's not, might be doing, not that if you're an Uber driver, you're an idiot, because not all Uber drivers are idiots, but sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Because you can't get a job elsewhere because you don't have the intelligence or the
it's different training. It's not like he's like concierge where like, like you pay for like luxury where they don't talk to you and they drive you right to the spot and they open the door for you. It's like different tiers of
But
stuff.
if you're an Uber driver, you should know how to follow a dot on a map. It just should be a kind of a requirement, but it doesn't have to be because there's no real check. To be an Uber driver, you just have to have a license. Now, maybe this is something I should take up with the state to not give people licenses that can't follow a dot on a map. But also, why am I getting mad about it? He is making no money. He is not being compensated for his, don't get mad at people that aren't being paid a lot. I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because no one's getting paid a lot. Everyone's making, what is minimum wage now?
Well, some places it's $15 an hour.
That's not a lot.
No.
In today's society at all.
No.
That is, you can't even get a salad for that much money.
No.
Like a little salad you shake up.
You have to work 2 hours to get a salad these days.
You do.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And that's why tipping is so important. But it's also like, we're not supposed to tip because that's the only way to get rid of a tipping culture, and we shouldn't have a tipping culture.
Right? Because all we're doing is subsidizing billionaires by so that they don't have to pay their fair wages. Like they're
I
asking
tip 23% on every Uber Eats order.
Well, yeah, we have to do it because it's not fair. But all we're doing is that money is going not to the workers; it's going to the billionaires who are saving money, who own the company, who are saving money, not paying
large
fair
corporate
wages.
Ones.
But I sometimes feel like there's nothing I can do about it. Am I supposed to just make this Uber Eats driver starve because I want to stick it to the man?
We're
like
trapped.
Yeah, like what do you do?
Well,
what do you do?
You got to vote for Bernie
Form
Sanders.
a union. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's over and done with.
I ordered an Uber this weekend, and I was leaving. I went to the USC homecoming game this past weekend. USC
oh yeah, that looked
Washington.
really fun. I saw your pictures on Instagram.
Mine or Allie's? I don't post any pictures.
Allie's, sorry. Oh, Jesus, sorry.
I don't post any
Allie's.
personal pictures on Instagram. If you want to see
so it was
pictures,
literally impoable for me. You know that I saw Allie's. You don't need to be like, mine. You know what I saw.
How dare you say it was
met
mine?
Before.
That is a we've met before.
How
you know what I'm
dare
talking
you?
about. They weren't yours.
No.
Yes,
this is
it was.
offensive to me personally that you would assume. No, I went to so we ordered an Uber to get out of there.
That's what we've met before is the new way to say it. Okay,
Don't we've met before me. And so there were 6 of us. We needed an Uber XL. Okay. We ordered an Uber XL.
That's a little many for an Uber XL.
6 is a lot for an Uber XL.
I feel like you're pushing it.
What's an Uber XL for?
I think it's like 5. 6 is gonna make him go. Oh,
okay. So if
he's gonna get a tune, but it's okay.
How many? What kind of car should show up with Uber XL?
Uber XL, you should get an SUV XL.
Okay, so guy shows up in a Tesla, a sedan,
Wait, what kind?
a Tesla sedan.
No,
and he has the front seat pushed all the way up, and then he's got the back seat somehow pushed up, and then there's like trunk space that I don't know what it is, like a third row for little babies. And there were seats there.
Did you all get in?
No, 4 of us got in. The other 2 ordered another Uber because we're like, this is not going to work. We're not going. You can't fit a human adult back here.
The lines are blurred for that XL bullshit.
Yeah, and the XL's like way more money, but we're glad we got out of there.
Was the game fun?
It was one of the best college football games of the season. USC lost, but it was an amazing game to be at. Really exciting, high-scoring game. It was like 52-42 was the final score.
Fun. Oh my God. Is that like a record?
No, but it was a high-scoring game, and the 2 quarterbacks are also, one of them is like the lead for the Heisman Trophy, and the other one's probably going to be the #1 draft pick next year in the NFL. Exciting. In USC homecoming, so there was like it was like a big fanfare. The band's great. The marching band is fantastic. Lots of celebrities, stuff like that.
What celebrities?
I couldn't
was
tell
it like
you.
Craig's?
Yeah,
So it was just people from reality shows on Netflix that you don't watch?
Lil Sweetie, I don't know, like people like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. Did you have good seats?
Where
was it at? The
Coliseum and USC. We had really good seats. Allie went to USC.
Who did you go with?
I went with Allie, who's a USC alum, and then her friend Dana, who you met at my wedding, and her boyfriend Sean, and then my good pals and yours, Rob Stern and Meredith Hackman.
Did you paint your faces?
No. I wore a USC hat and a USC shirt though.
That's cool.
I'm not a USC fan per se, but Allie's...
Was it cold? No, it's not.
No,
in California.
it was warm. It's really going to a college football game is really fun. It
is.
It's like a little bit more fun, I'd say, than an NFL game because the atmosphere of college students all there. Although
they're all drunk and so excited. Whenever I see them, it's one of my favorite things is to watch the crowd at a college football game because I'm just like, that is the greatest time of life.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing else matters except getting wasted.
Yes.
Cheering on your team, trying to get laid that night.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe having a quiz the next day that you didn't study for, but who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? USC just
Your
won
parents are paying for everything, and I know that's not everyone's experience. Don't get mad at me. But you're in a bubble. Life is so fucking good in college when you are a crazy kid that's whipping around your shirt at a college game and you're all packed in there and you're all flirting with a bunch of girls and you're like drinking beer. Like, I never experienced that because I would never want to because I don't like football and I don't like loud, like drunk boys screaming in my face. But if you're into that kind of stuff, there's no better time of life.
Oh, yeah. And I know we have to wrap, but I wanted to ask you how was going to Kansas to do your show? A return to...
It was fun. It was that town. It's so nice to be in Kansas because it makes you feel... You're going to your college town makes you feel young because the last time you were there, you were young. And so it made me feel 20 again. I was like, I feel exactly how I felt in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, I know this feeling. I was listening to Yankee Hotel Foxtrot on a CD, driving around. Everything still like looks the same. They do a good job in that town of keeping things like looking the same and preserving this kind of like cutesy college town atmosphere. And I performed at a center that was like a place I'd never even been on campus. It's like the Lead Center. It's like where I did a joke that someone said, this is where Bob Dylan performed. I'm like, Bob Dylan performed here? And they're like, no, Bob Dole performed here. I'm like, what did he play? It was Bob Dole. It has been there before.
Wow.
And it was a Sunday night and people really came out for the show and that was really sweet. It felt great to be there, but yeah, it was really, I love that town so much. The hotel was not that great. I felt like I was a reporter, a journalist that was studying a crime on campus, and I was just visiting from the big city for a weekend. That's how I like kind of interpreted being in that hotel because it was like so not good. And then I ended up leaving that night, and I went to my friend Kirsten's house in Kansas City, so I didn't have to stay in the hotel.
Did you do the Kirsten bit where you drove around yelling at the students?
Home. We did. We Mama's homed a couple people, I think. Or we were looking to Mama's home people, but we kept, because Britta, her sister, was like, please do Mama's home. So we were stalking the campus before my show. My show was at 7:30 and it was like 7:15 and we were driving around on the way there looking for people to scream Mama's home at. But we didn't do it because it was all individual people walking home and we didn't want to bully anyone. You have to have two people at least. You have to have a friend to go, did that person just say Mama's home?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Mama came home and it was really fun. I went to my Middle Eastern restaurant I worked at as a young person and visited that family and got delicious food. Aladdin Cafe, shout out, Massachusetts Street, Lawrence, Kansas. Sorry, I'm yawning. Okay, I got to go drive to Arkansas. You guys, great show. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you this weekend. I am going to be in Rehoboth, Delaware and Atlantic City. And then next week I'll be in Tempe for 2 shows Thursday and Friday. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 shows, but 2 nights in Tempe, Thursday and Friday, and then Portland on Saturday. I hope you guys can make it out to the shows. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. As always, I love you so much. Don't be and just walk a mile in Noah's shoes. And take 4 hours to do it.